Hello, everybody. Welcome to the seminar, Mastering the Art of Business for Coaches and Practitioners. I know that a lot of you joining in are students of IWA and have actually trained and certified through Integrative Wellness Academy. So hello, all of you. I know you know me well, but for those of you who might not know me, my name is Rachel Eva, and I am the founder and one of the instructors at Integrative Wellness Academy. So today I'm really excited to talk to you guys about the art of business for coaches specifically. I know that this is a challenging area for a lot of you, and I'm hoping that I can share a lot of helpful information that's going to make your road a lot easier. I want to start off by saying that before I founded IWA back in 2010, I actually was a coach, had a private practice for about 20 years. And so some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight were things that I had to personally work through and overcome different roadblocks and challenges to figure out how you do this crazy life coaching business aspect of a career in life coaching. So for me, and some of you might be feeling these same things. I know that a lot of our students and graduates express these same challenges. But for me, in I would say probably the first few years of my coaching practice, I really struggled and became very overwhelmed, very frustrated. And there were actually times in those first few years that I felt like completely giving up and just throwing this big dream out the window and not even having a career as a life coach. So if you guys are feeling that way, or some of you are feeling that way, or some similar things, I'm hoping that today will be helpful. But I do want to say that we go as a coach, we go and we get trained, we get the skill set to coach, and then we step into this marketplace and it's like the wild, wild west, right? This isn't something that we're prepared for and trained for within a certification program. And listen, you're not alone in this. As a coach, you're not alone in this industry with these issues. Guess who else faces them? Medical doctors, therapists, chiropractors. So those are specialty fields that require a lot of advanced training and education. And when someone gets that training and education, then when they graduate, become certified or pass their boards, then there's this whole other world that they enter into, which is, okay, how do I start a private practice? How do I market that private practice? How do I run the business elements of this practice? And I wish that I could tell you that, hey, there's some magic solution and you guys can skip over learning business, but you can't. Because as a coach, you're also a small business owner and you do have to master the art of both coaching, that skill set, and also learning the elements of business and mastering those as well. However, I'm going to bust open some myths tonight. I'm going to hopefully give you guys some clarity on where to invest your time and energy in that direction. Because let's face it, all of us, or most of us, got into the field of life coaching so that we could help people, right? We wanted to help people overcome their challenges and their roadblocks to achieve a more successful life or to achieve specific goals that they were working on. We entered this market to be of service and also at the same time to possibly get more freedom in our career, have more work-life balance, be able to have control over our schedules. And at the end of the day, this felt like stepping into your purpose, right? Your purpose, your calling. This was something that called out to your heart. I know it did for me. And then all this hard work and confusion might have come in. The thing is, yes, you have to learn the business elements. And I am going to talk about how to make that a simple learning curve for you. At the end of the day, though, the hard work is worth it. When you have that freedom, you can work from anywhere in the world. You can work with the types of people that you're most passionate about. You can really live this big purpose and calling on your life and also pay your bills. It is completely possible. So if you're feeling frustrated, hang in there. I'm, again, going to give you a lot of tools and resources today to help support you in that. I am going to leave time at the end for question and answers. So if you have specific questions about your coaching business or where you're at today and how to move forward, I'm happy to answer all of those. So most of what I'm going to talk about today is really going to be speaking from the heart. I have a couple bullet points here to keep me on track and make sure that I give you guys all of the information that I have tonight. The first things that I want to talk about are the number one challenges, or the top, let's say the top 5 challenges that other coaches are facing, so that you can know that you're not alone in this and that we're going to address those tonight. So the number one concern that I always hear from our graduates and from other coaches out there in the industry is, how do I get clients? How do I market effectively? And we're going to talk about that today. The other question that we get a lot is, how do I transition into a full-time coaching practice while at the beginning I might be having to juggle that transition between a full-time job and this coaching practice? How do I get from here to here? So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about a lot of other things tonight. We'll talk a little bit for a few minutes about how to maximize your hours as a coach and decrease the amount of one-on-one work with some other ideas like group coaching or creating pre-recorded programs to generate residual income. So we'll talk about those as well. All right, so let's go into the first thing. How do I get clients? Now, I have to say I've been seeing a lot of these courses going around online that are like, become a 6-figure coach, and here's this like intense sales course to teach you how to do that. And the first thing that I want to say is, when I was in private practice as a coach, I got sucked into that direction myself in the beginning. And what I found was that it maximized my frustration even more, because then I had this let's call it what it is. I had an icky feeling inside, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm a coach. I'm here to help people, and all of a sudden I'm trying to master sales and marketing, and it didn't feel like my lane, and it didn't feel authentic. So I had to kind of backpedal and take a look at what I was doing and how I was doing it, because the world, in my opinion, didn't need at that time more sales gurus and marketing wizards, but the world did need more coaches who could support these powerful, positive changes. So that was the lane that I wanted to be in. But also, as a business owner, I know, and this is the catch, is that we can have the very best service, and it can be a life-changing service. And if we don't market it or share it with the world appropriately, we can lose the ability to continue doing that business because we can't support ourselves, right? So I want to talk about how you get clients in a way that is authentic to you. And that's going to be really important, and it's going to be something that each of you are going to have to discover a little bit. And I'm going to be scratching the surface tonight, and hopefully this will give you some clarity about the direction to move forward in. So with marketing and advertising, things of that nature, I want to talk about authenticity. So this is showing up as who you are, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm in my office, I'm not trying to be anyone that I'm not trying to replicate another coach or someone else out there. I know that social media can be one of those tricky things where we see and perceive that another coach and what they're doing is working and they're getting a lot of traction, and hey, maybe I'll just copy them. I think it's important when we look at social media to notice what might be working or not working for them, get some ideas, but really craft how you're showing up in the world to be aligned with who you are as a coach. We're not always perfect. We're not always having great days. And I think it's important, again, that we market in a way that's aligned with who we are and how we are authentically. So before I dive into marketing and advertising and all of these elements about specifically how to get clients, let's back it up and let's talk about human connection. As coaches, we're in the business of human connection. Even if you are coaching people halfway across the world, virtually, online, via phone or Skype, or all of the different things like Zoom conference, whatever application you're using, it's still about human connection. So when we are marketing or trying to get new clients, what we want to try to do is have the focus of building that human connection. So first of all, just throwing ads out there and marketing and building sales funnels and things, it's not helpful. And the reason it's not helpful is because we have to back up to the foundation or the motivation behind those things. We might be, let's try to get new clients. I need to build out my business. But first we need to back up and remember that we're a coach, and life coaches should have a heart of service and really a desire to help create positive change. So you want to be breeding those human connections with that intention as the foundation. And I know that seems a little bit intangible, but let's back that up even further. When you're using things like social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're using, or even if it's emails or other things like maybe you're doing online seminars or webinars like I'm doing right now, whatever you're doing should be helpful and provide something that is needed. So when you're sharing content, and all of that is content, when you're sharing content, make it helpful content and give it away for free. And that's like, I'm doing a free seminar right now. Things that I post on social media are helpful, and I am trying to be of service and to bring that human connection into a one-on-one environment, right? So on Facebook, on social media, you're going to have people who are reading your content, who might be clicking through to your website, but they're collecting information, they're collecting helpful resources. And you want to get that distance to move closer and to have that connection get to one-on-one. Because again, coaching is a connection-based business. So just throwing stuff out into, this internet bubble and trying to generate money is actually the wrong approach. I'm not saying that these specific tools like building lead magnets and funnels aren't helpful. They absolutely are, but it's how we use those. So when you're beginning your marketing efforts, and this is to try to get new clients, what you want to do is you want to be of service. So number one, creating your blog, creating articles, creating posts, creating videos that answer problems and bring solutions to people who might be viewing them, and has a way for them to connect with you. So instead of just throwing an ad out there, hey, sign up for services with me, do a one-on-one coaching session with me, share helpful information, and then invite them to connect with you. That might be via email or a phone conversation. The goal really is to get, again, those one-on-one connections and have contact with people so that you can begin building relationships. With building relationships, this is so important, you guys, we have to care. We have to genuinely care, and we have to genuinely show up and listen. These are going back to your coaching skills. So even in that marketing arena, you still need to show up as a coach, not as a marketer, not as a salesperson. So that's really important. Authenticity and breeding one-on-one connection. So whatever you're doing out there, and you're going to have to do trial and error, right? What's working right now to connect with people on social media is not going to be working 6 months from now. So you're going to have to practice, you're going to have to make adjustments, but be authentic. And number two is breed human connection. Create those coaching conversations and get in a one-on-one environment with them, whether that's email, whether that's a phone call. Connect, connect, connect. Okay? And the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to getting clients, and we can, of course, get really sucked into the social media bubble and just put all of our time and energy into marketing in that way. But let's not forget, again, it's about those connections and building those relationships. Let's not forget how valuable referrals are. How valuable referrals are. I know that there have been times in my coaching business in the past when all of my clients were actually coming from those one-on-one connections in relationships that I already had. And that might be challenging for some of you who are just starting coaching, so I'll talk about that in a second. But for those of you who have a few clients, there are some creative ways to incentivize or motivate your existing clients to refer you to other people. You might host some kind of a connection event at your home or, at a local cafe. You might let your clients know that you have 5 new openings for new clients and to please share your information. And if any other people enroll in one of your coaching programs or book a session with you, that you'll give them a free session, or however you want to creatively motivate them. But use these resources. These relationships that you have already built and established are worth more than any lead magnet funnel and thing that you can build on social media. Again, both using the internet and all of the tools available to us there, very powerful. But those existing relationships are probably going to be equally as powerful, so please don't ignore those or let them go by the wayside. For some of you who are saying, okay, how do I do that? Because I don't have any current clients. You might not have any current clients, but I promise that you have relationships in your life. You have relationships, and you can share with your friends, your family, previous coworkers, things of that nature. Hey, announcement, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm passionate about. This is why I'm passionate about it. And share with them specifically what type of clients you're open to, how you're specifically helping them, basically the value that you bring. Because just sending out an email blast or a post on social media, hey guys, I'm life coaching and taking new clients, that doesn't communicate what you do, A, and B, it doesn't speak to someone who might be reading that on the other side who has a need. So we want to speak to those needs very specifically. The need might be to overcome a problem in their physical system with maybe illness, disease, weight gain. It might be challenges that they're having in parenting, right? So you want to really craft how you communicate to meet the needs. And for those of you who are new coaches, take advantage of the relationships that you have. I'm not saying sell to those and become, a multi-level marketer to your family members, but share out of your genuine excitement. Remember what originally got you into the industry of coaching, connect back with that, and craft an email, send it out to everybody that you know, and share your excitement. Share your excitement about supporting people. So that is my tip for that. And we want to go into, let's talk a little bit about how to juggle moving from your full-time position. Let's say you are a brand new coach, you just recently got certified, you still have a full-time job, or you're trying to transition right now. And something that I like to say, and I'll say it over and over and over again, is please approach your business practices but in a balanced way. So just as you would probably recommend to a client to approach something in a balanced way, please also take that same advice yourself. And what that means is don't go quit your day job and put yourself in a dangerous position and dive head in, because if you do that, what you're really doing is you're putting yourself in a position where you will be desperate to earn money to pay your bills, and that is going to be a big negative effector on how you show up as a coach. It affects our ability to show up truly in service, because we have our agenda that's like this big monster hiding in the closet. Oh no, how am I going to pay my bills? So find a way to transition yourself in a balanced approach. So one of the ways that I usually recommend doing this is by starting to hold group coaching. Maybe it's a group coaching program on a Wednesday night or a Saturday afternoon, where you can create a 3, 6, 12-week program, group coaching program, and invite people to enroll in that. And then when that time is over, when the group has ended, you can invite them then to become your private clients. So when you start off with group coaching, this allows you to have two very clear, one or two groups that you're marketing and you're putting out into the world, and it works around the existing schedule that you have. It doesn't drain you energetically or your time. And you can begin to work with clients in that way. And then to, again, at the end of that program, invite them to become your one-on-one client, whether it's individual sessions or group coaching packages that you offer. Invite them to that next level. And you can slowly begin building out into a full-time practice over a few months or over a year, depending on what works for you. But again, approach that in a very balanced way. Don't put yourself in a position where you're unable to support yourself or you have unrealistic expectations, because this is a business and you do have to grow your business. So any type of business that you start, there's going to be a learning curve. You're going to have to learn how to run that business operationally from an administrative perspective. You're also going to have to learn how to market that business effectively. And then you're also going to have to figure out how long that takes and have realistic expectations. So those are some elements that are important for you to take into consideration when you are building out that transition. What I do recommend is that every time you add something to your schedule as a business owner, because hey guys, you're all business owners now, every time you add something to your schedule, let's say you are working a full or part-time job, and then you're adding, one evening a week where you're marketing your new coaching business, and one half of an afternoon on, say, Saturdays where you're going to do a group coaching. Those are two new things that you've just added to your schedule. So anytime that we add something, we also need to replenish or balance that back out. So self-care is hugely important for coaches and practitioners in the helping field. So take a look at how you are caring for yourself, and that's going to be a huge element of, or foundational aspect of, a successful coaching practice. Absolutely. So self-care, very, very important. And then let's talk a little bit about the business side, because I know that this is something that can be really challenging and overwhelming. You do not need to go and get an MBA to learn business, especially for coaches. It's different than corporate America, right? And we want it to be. Most of us wanted to leave corporate America. So you don't want to try to replicate something like that within your business. But you do have to learn some foundations and specific steps to take to build out your business, to be protected legally, to have it set up appropriately for things like paying taxes or, tracking all of your schedule and income, all of those things. Those are the back end business elements that you will need to master. And again, I know you might be frustrated about this, because you went and you got training and you're certified and you've practiced this skill. And yes, you may have mastered coaching, and now you do have to learn the business elements. So again, there's no way around that. There's no magic answer for that. But the thing that I will tell you is that in the beginning, it can feel very overwhelming with all of these different moving pieces and so many different options. So one of the things that I recommend is you do your research, but don't overwhelm yourself. Try something and you can see if it works and make adjustments from there. Once you have your foundation set up in your coaching business, things like your certification, liability insurance, these are foundational, and then opening a separate business bank account and beginning your coaching practice, whether you develop a website or whether you're coaching people in person. All of these are the foundational elements. And then you have to learn how to manage these and which tools you're going to use for accounting and processing payments and all of these things. So again, there's a lot of options out there. I will talk more on this in a little bit. But I'm going to take a minute here to answer some questions for you guys, and then I'm going to dive back in and teach some more content and tools that are going to specifically help you with your coaching business. How do you create residual income as a coach? Great question. Okay, so I mentioned this in the beginning that our coaching hours can quickly get eaten up and we can become overwhelmed in our schedule. What this means is if I have 5 clients and I'm spending 5 hours a week with those clients and I'm getting a certain amount of money from them, I have to figure out exactly how many clients do I need to see in order to pay my bills, right? This is sort of simple math, but the wonderful thing about this digital world that we're living in is that as a coach, you can increase your earning potential and also decrease the amount of one-on-one coaching sessions that you do. You can do this 2 different ways. Number 1 is by offering group coaching programs. And I love group coaching programs as well, not just for the benefits that coaches get out of them, but also that the clients have a less expensive price point to access. Because with this whole 6-figure coaching programs that you see out there right now, what it's motivating people to do is charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And that actually is a market segment that's this wide of people that can afford those types of services. And if you're passionate about helping people, but you also have to pay your bills, you can get really creative by having these group coaching programs at lower price points, so that it is more accessible and you can support more people, but also work less hours. So for example, you can offer a couple different group coaching options. Maybe you run one group for 6 weeks and another group for 12 weeks. They might overlap and you do them again, maybe one during the week on an evening and one during the weekend in the morning or early afternoon. And that's, again, a way that you can decrease the amount of hours that you're working as a coach, but also increase the amount of people that you can support. You can do group coaching live and in person. It's pretty easy to rent office space for a couple hours here and there. Chiropractors' offices, wellness centers, yoga studios, these are great places to look. The other place that you can do these is virtually. So you can do it through any type of online platform, Zoom meetings, or even on Facebook in a private group. So you can do those virtually, and then you don't even have travel time, right? So that's even less hours that you have to work. And when you do programs or group coaching online, it also allows you to work with more clients and have access to more people. For example, before I started doing any coaching online, I was limited to the amount of people that were probably within a 5-mile radius of my office at the time. Once I opened up and started coaching people virtually, online and via phone and Skype, things of that nature, then all of a sudden I could work with anyone in the world. So that's another wonderful benefit to leading group programs virtually. And then the other thing is pre-recorded content, which is another way to even decrease the price point and access point to your potential clients more. So you can create a 3, 6, 9, 12-week program that you record and then sell as an online course. This is another way, again, to decrease that price point. So for example, your live group coaching program might be, $1,000 for 12 weeks, but your pre-recorded 12-week program might only be $500. So again, that's a much lower price point. It's more accessible. You can gain more clients that way. And pre-recorded program is fantastic because you don't have to be live. And so you have more hours and residual income, because once you make it, it's always there. Yeah. But you do have to learn how to market that effectively. Any other questions? In a live group session, do you recommend attendees sign some kind of release form? Yeah, thank you for asking that. Anytime that you are coaching, whether it's one-on-one, in a group, or even virtually. Before beginning that coaching relationship, I always recommend that you have them sign a client agreement, and that is also a liability release form. The one that we use at Integrative Wellness Academy combines a release form and a coaching agreement into one document. Great question. Thank you. Any other questions about that before we move on? Okay, so thank you, Lynette. So the comment is on fees, not knowing where to start, and this is something that you will need to find out within yourself what you feel aligned with. Okay, there is no industry standard. There are some coaches out there that charge $30 to $50 for a session. There are some coaches out there that work with executives like presidents and CEOs of companies, and they're on contract for an annual coaching relationship that's $500,000, and everywhere in between. So I know that that's not specifically helpful, but what I am inviting you to do is think about what your needs are and what your time is currently valued at. And this is important because as a coach, you want to not just survive, you want to thrive, you want to create financial stability for yourself. And at the same time, you don't want to make yourself inaccessible to the mass that you want to serve. So you will need to take that into consideration. We do offer a business mastery course, which is separate from our life coach certification course, and we go into different pricing structures and teach all about that. But what I will say right now is one of the things that you can do as a coach is you start somewhere and you can change it. So if it's holding you back from getting out there and starting your business, figure out a session rate or a coaching package that you price-wise that you feel good about, you feel confident, like this is valuing my own time, and put it out there and see what the response is. You can always increase your prices or decrease your prices. You can modify your coaching packages at any time. Again, coaching businesses, you need to try things and see what works for you. What I do recommend is to start off, if you're a brand new coach, start off offering a few sessions to get to know your clients first, and then invite them to maybe a 3, 6, 9, or 12-month coaching relationship. So that's a coaching package that they can sign up for. But initially, if you're just getting started and you're new, you're not sure what clients you will be happy working with or feel good about working with. You're still in that investigation stage, and you should give yourself permission to enter the market in a slower way versus I have to make a decision and this is how it's going to be for the next 5 years. Again, try and see what rate feels right for you and make modifications based on the feedback that you're getting and also how you feel about that number. Great. Is the market too saturated to be successful in the coaching industry? That's a great question, and I hear that a lot. And I have to say that I think that it's easy for us to get frustrated with not mastering business and marketing and then step back and say that the reason is that it's not working for us is because the industry is too saturated. And I want to talk back to the 1980s when talk therapy, what we now know as traditional therapy, was becoming more and more popular. That was something that before that period of time wasn't on people's radar. Even though it was around, it wasn't hugely popular. And in the 80s, it started to progressively get popular. More and more therapists were trained and entered the market. And now you can really, within a 5-mile radius of anywhere you are, probably find 100 therapists, different types of therapists. And those people also could claim that the market is too saturated. That's not the case. There's a reason that there are a lot of coaches, and that's because there is a huge need for it. The industry itself, I think I read in Inc. magazine that coaching, corporate wellness coaching, which as a life coach, you're trained and equipped to do, corporate wellness coaching is actually the largest growing industry right now other than drones. And it's projected to continue to grow until 2020. So the market is there. It is wide open. There are other people in that space, and they're helping you because you're not having to go out and educate the masses about what life coaching is or what those services entail. You're able to step into this market where that industry is already known and clients are already seeking it out. So that would be the mindset and the approach that I would recommend with that. That the more coaches there are, the better. Not that it will take anything from you. Yes. Do you feel that you have to have a micro niche versus a general transformation coaching practice? So there are a lot of our graduates who are generalists, meaning they coach lots of different types of people with lots of different types of problems. And that's what brings them joy. And then there are a lot of our graduates that niche their coaching business and they focus in really specifically on one demographic or market of people. And that can look like coaching parents that are going through the transition of their kids leaving home for college. That could be people who are struggling with illness or disease. That could be people who want to make some type of big transition in their career or personal development. So there's a lot of different niches that you can choose. And there's a value to doing it, and there's also a value to doing it as a generalist. So I'll talk a little bit about the difference. If you are someone who if you're a coach who has specifically walked through and overcome a unique set of challenges in life, and you're really passionate about that area, you have so much passion and you just really want to equip others to be able to overcome those same things, a niche in that area would be phenomenal for you. Making up niches just to make up niches may be helpful with your marketing materials, but you want to create a niche for two reasons. Number one, it helps you communicate specifically who you work with, how you help them, what benefit your coaching services are to them. So it makes it easier to communicate. But the other thing is, on the other side of the fence, is this generalist who has the ability to work with all people. And this might be your passion, right? You're passionate about helping all people with all kinds of different transformations. You definitely can have a generalist practice while also niching your communication to the different types of people that you want to work with. So for example, saying that you're just a life coach, like in general, doesn't communicate to your potential client what you do, how you do it, or how it benefits them. So it's more about the communication. If you're able to communicate the benefit to working with you to a potential client, then you are fine as a generalist. It's really about that communication. So if you're really passionate about a niche, go for it. It's very beneficial. And if you're really passionate about a generalist practice, just be really clear in your communication, the way that you're communicating to different types of people and what unique things that you can specifically help them with. Great. All right, well, let's dive back in a little bit. I want to talk to you guys about a little bonus that some of you might know. Some of you may have seen my post on social media and just shown up for this reason. But this is also a book launch party. So I recently wrote an ebook called How to Build a Successful Coaching Business. So as a thank you for everybody coming, I'm going to post in the feed below here a link where you guys can download a free copy of that book. It will be available for sale on Amazon in a few weeks, but again, as a thank you for connecting with me, I'm going to give you a link where you guys can just download that free. So it's going to have a lot of additional tools and directions and information that'll help you guys with some next steps as well. Yeah, I love sharing free tools and information. We're in this industry because we're passionate about it. We want to help people, and I want to help support you guys in achieving that big career dream that you have and helping others while still paying your bills. Yeah. And then I want to talk to you about our business mastery course that we offer at Integrative Wellness Academy, because again, when I was starting out in my coaching practice, I felt like I was trying to learn how to invent a wheel, learn how to reinvent wheels constantly, and that I spent all of my time in sales and marketing and business and was really, again, not in my lane and not enjoying what I do. So we, as a response to other students and graduates of Integrative Wellness Academy saying that they were feeling those same types of frustration, we thought, well, as a team, we've collectively been coaching for about 100 years and have some powerful solutions and really clear, tangible steps that I think will decrease the amount of energy, the amount of time, and really the amount of effort it takes and time it takes to get from where you are now to where you want your coaching business to be. So that business mastery course that we offer is a 12-week course. And it goes into, I'm going to read you guys some of the stuff that we cover, because it's got, as I mentioned, a lot of tangible next steps so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The business mastery course, during the 12 weeks, you're going to learn how to write a business model for your business. And this is really outlining your offerings and your pricing and your structure. Clearly defining your mission, your passion, and your niche. This should all be aligned with your purpose, right? All be aligned with your purpose and your authentic self. So we're going to teach about that, how to effectively market to get new clients, and also step-by-step guidance in how to build out every element of your business, both the administrative and technical aspects, but also the very specific marketing tools and steps that you'll need to take in order to succeed. So this 12-week course walks you through step-by-step, really holds your hand and helps you to do all of that. In week 1, you clarify your goals and your passion and your niche. In week 2, you identify and overcome your biggest fears and challenges as a coach, because mindset is huge, especially when you're your own business owner, your small business owner. Your own mindset and approach to your business has a dramatic effect on the results that you experience. And then in week 3, this is where you really break down that mission, vision, and purpose and learn how to communicate that to potential clients. And in week 4, this is where you learn, Andrea, who is one of our amazing instructors at Integrative Wellness Academy, and she has a very successful, thriving coaching business, and she walks you through the entire back end of how she runs her business so that you guys can model that, not copy it, not completely replicate it, but to model that and really figure out how to take something that works and make it your own. And then in week 5, you write out your own business model. And in week 6, this is where we teach you all about that ethical pricing and packages and your different offerings and the financial structure for your coaching practice. In week 7, it's all about marketing, and then how to build out the specific elements that you'll need in order for that to be successful. In week 9, it's all about getting and maintaining clients, how to have those sales conversations and talk money and commitments with your clients in a way, again, that isn't salesy and that's aligned with you. In week 10, this is all about balance, learning how to manage your own time, energy, and resources as a coach and as a business owner. And then in weeks 11 and 12, you'll actually be building out, learning the steps and building out an entire 3-month game plan and then a 12-month game plan so that you'll be really clear about what you'll be doing to grow your coaching business over the next 12 months. So that is what our 12-week business mastery course is. Any other questions in the area of business? Does the business mastery course include how to build a website? Yes, and It doesn't walk you through step by step of how to actually, like, for example, use WordPress or Squarespace, but it will walk you through which technologies to use, what they offer, what they don't, and some simple directions so that you can begin doing that. And let me talk about websites for a second, because I want to bust a myth for you guys. For anyone that is being held back from entering the marketplace because of their website, because maybe you don't have enough money or enough knowledge to get a professional website up and running, I want to bust this myth. You do not have to spend thousands of dollars to create an effective website. In fact, WordPress and Squarespace are two very simple technologies. I've even learned how to use them, and Facebook was initially a challenge for me. So that kind of gives you guys some clarity about my technical skill level. And there are very easy directions. We live in this world, which is great. You can go on YouTube and say how to, and fill in the blank with pretty much anything, and there'll be a tutorial there. That's actually how I specifically taught myself WordPress, and to be able to do that. That's actually how I taught myself Facebook as well. So guys, you are empowered. You don't need to come up with thousands of dollars or some expert to build out your website for you. You absolutely can do this yourself. Again, if I could do it, you could do it. So the Business Mastery course will walk you through the different platforms specifically for website, and which ones that we would recommend, and kind of what they integrate with, because it's important that you also can take credit card payments, right? So you want to incorporate e-commerce into your website. All right, great. Jody's saying, I already have my domain name and getting ready to build a basic website. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I highly recommend either WordPress or Squarespace. They're both very, very easy to use. And both of them have beautiful templates. So it's about as easy. I think Squarespace is about as easy as using Facebook. Yeah, great. Any other questions? Okay, great. This is a wonderful question, Lynette. She's saying that that when she has conversations about what she does, that some people sort of roll their eyes, right? and not take it seriously. I have heard people say about both therapy and life coaching is, oh, you're just paying somebody to be your friend, or mindsets in that way. And, you know, that's completely fine. Not everyone is open to having a coach or having a therapist or having a personal trainer or having any help or support teams. Some people have a mindset that if you have a problem, you buck up, you handle it yourself, that's what it is, or you just talk to a friend and move on. And those probably are not going to be your clients. And it's completely fine for someone to have that belief system. So again, they might not be your client, but if you're having a conversation with them, the number one thing that I would say is, hey, don't take it personally. That everybody has the right to their own perception and their own mindset. And many of your clients find it very helpful. So that's a great way to segue when you're talking to somebody that might not be open to coaching. Again, they're probably not going to be your client. That's probably not a coaching conversation to see if they're a client. But just in general conversation, if somebody like that is not open to it and they say something negative, I would just say, yeah, I totally understand your perspective. And a lot of my clients have found it very life-changing and helpful in accomplishing, and list some specific benefits that clients have gotten out of it. Yeah, that's great. So I'm posting this link for you guys right now. There's 2 links there. Number 1 is the link to sign up for the 12-week Business Mastery course. And then also I did post the link where you guys can download the free ebook that I just published. So you guys are the first ones to get a chance to read it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it truly, truly helps your business, because we all got into this industry to help people, and our passion and our purpose led us here. So let's all master the business so that we can continue to walk forward in our purpose. Yeah. I hope that today was beneficial, and I am looking forward to connecting with each of you more. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye, guys. You can download your free ebook by visiting iwacoaching.com and clicking this image on our homepage.